ما أريد من هذا الشعب إلا أن يزيد في الحمد والشكر إلى الله عز وجل، ويزيد من محبة الوطن، ويزيد من العمل ومضاعفة العمل لما يسعى فيه من خير له وللدولة والأهل. هذا اللي أنا أدوره من الشعب، وربنا إن شاء الله يوفقنا جميعا على ما يحب ويرضى.
I'd like to thank the government, first of all, the President of the UAE, صاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن زايد, and أخوانه وصاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن راشد على الدعم اللامحدود اللي قايمين به للشباب اليوم ولتطوير الشباب. والحمد لله اليوم نحن النبتة اللي خلقوها أجدادنا من شيوخنا ومن شوابنا. والله يطول عمرهم والله يوفق الشباب، وشكرا جزيلا.
واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد، إلا دار زايد لا تقرب حماها، لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها، واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد.
I'm deeply honored and I'm really thankful to the leadership of UAE. I have seen a complete transformation of this country, and that's all because of the able leadership of this particular country. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Peers of Union, where every conversation uncovers a new peers of insights, leadership and success from the heart of the UAE. There are people who has been work in banking, and then there are people who have shaped it. And today's guest has spent over 2 decades at the very top of the UAE's most powerful financial institutions, not just managing them, but transforming them from the inside. He has been the person that behind some of the most significant operational shifts in the country's bank history. And now let's welcome with me Mr. Suhail bin Tarraf, the managing partner of Century Bank Brokers, the former group COO of First Abu Dhabi Bank, and former COO of Emirates Islamic Bank, and former CEO of Tanfeeth at Emirates MBD. Mr. Suhail, welcome to Peers of Union.
Thank you. Welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Suhail. Mr. Suhail, if you could please start the episode by introducing yourself. Tell me more about your personal and your professional backgrounds, and tell me more about the key milestones in your journey as well.
I started my journey in 1999. I joined Emirates Bank, one of the leading banks in the 2000s, then merged with MBD, which created Emirates MBD. I was part of the HR team. I led the HR team for the group in 2008 in the financial crisis. So I've seen a merger and I've seen a crisis, and then we created Emirates Islamic Bank. We've created Tanfeeth, and I led Tanfeeth and then moved into Emirates Islamic Bank as the COO, and then completed more than 20 years within the group. And I moved to FAB for the last 3 or 4 years, and I have 25 years of experience in banking. That's from a professional perspective. My personal life, I'm a professional falconer. I like falcons, breeding falcons, racing falcons. So that's the other part. And that's where my competitive edge and adrenaline rush that comes in the professional life also.
And so what's your educational background as well?
I studied in AUD, bachelor's, and then I completed my master's degree in the US, and I have a GMP from Harvard University. I've done a lot of
So it was like in accounting and finance.
it was in management and innovation.
Yes. So was it like getting into the banking industry? Was it always a passion, or it just happened by coincidence?
It actually happened by coincidence, and the coincidence was there was a branch manager in when I joined the bank. The service that he served the clients was unparalleled, and I was like, wow, this is something I want to do for customers. I joined the bank immediately.
Who would you say that the people who have supported you throughout this journey?
Two main people who have saw me grow in this journey. The first one was Jamal bin Ghaliata. He was my direct manager when I was a trainee, and His Excellency Ahmed Hamid Al-Tayr. He was the godfather of nationalization those days, and he made sure that the nationals have a career path and a development path.
And Mr. Suhail, what do you think they were the most powerful skills that you have adapted throughout this journey? You think they led you to who you are today?
Listening and learning.
Okay. You adapted these since like you became into the banking sector?
Since I joined and got trained with the groups, yes.
Yes. And if you've been able to go back at the time and tell the younger version of yourself a message or a piece of advice, what you would have been told yourself?
I would stick to the learning and listening, but I would say take positive feedback to grow yourself.
Yes. And if you could please tell me more about Century Bank. So what was the vision behind Century Bank? How did you even have the idea and the vision to stop such a thing?
The CBB is a organization that has been there for a while. I moved in 2 years ago after I left banking, and there's a gap between the customer and the bank. The customer wants something, but they don't understand how the bank reacts. So we became the middle ground between understanding the customer needs and understanding the policies of the bank. So we bring them closer rather than going back and forth to the bank every day to fill in a paper, sign a document. We missed this and we missed that. So technology is good, but you need that human interaction to make sure I understand, or we as CBB understand what the client wants from a need, and how do we grow that client for the future. And understand when we submit the documents to the bank, they're at least 80 to 90% right the first time.
Yes. So what makes CBB like exceptional in the market, and what even are, like as a client, if I was a client, what am I gonna expect from CBB to make it even like outstanding in the market as well?
So number one, when we look at your needs, let's say you are buying a car.
Yes.
What type of car are you trying to buy? What is the best rate you're looking for? What is your financial need at that time? How much can you pay? Then we understand, is it Islamic, non-Islamic? Then we start searching for which bank works for you and at that level, and what is the fastest process for you. At the end of the day, today the UAE is a dynamic country, fast, customers are fast, they will not wait for you a week or 10 days. If they want something, they want it today and they want it now. So that gap that we are playing in is the gap that we're looking at, and we fulfill the needs of the clients for us and make sure that the bank actually is also easier to transact and finalize your documents.
Yes. And from your experience, what do you think there's like a mistake some people they always do, or they don't understand about the financial sectors?
They don't need the documents that they need to give to the bank. The bank requirements are a lot. From a statement, from a AECB, from the loan itself, the amount. They assume that they can get, let's say, for example, 100, but the eligibility is 50. So what happens is, if when you submit to the bank, they will decline immediately. So they won't give you a reason until you go follow up. Our role here is to do that follow up for you. Understand that your calculation from the salary that you have is around 50 to 60,000. So when we go to the bank, we go with the 50 to 60 rather than going with an 100 and get a decline. So these are the elements that we work on to enable a smooth transaction and good services to our clients that are coming forward for banking services.
Would you say that most customers, they always feel overwhelmed by the choices that they got, and sometimes they got lost by choosing whatever it's better for them, but just because there's too many options they couldn't choose from?
That's a great question. If you go to any bank, you have 5 or 6 credit cards.
Yes.
Which one do you choose? That's
For me, the one with the more benefits.
Yeah, but what are the benefits? Let's say you travel, you want a travel card. If you go to, let's say, entertainment, restaurants, and so you want a cashback card. So it depends on what you as an individual at that age, what do you look for? Are you looking for traveling? Are you looking for cashback? Those are the elements that our advisors sit with our clients and see their needs. So then we look at which card suits you, and then we start submitting the documents for that card rather than just a card.
Yes, and I would say the financial industry is always a critical industry, and it's very sensitive to some sort of people, or maybe everyone. So how do you always make sure that you always build that trust with your clients?
We believe there's a trust communication between us and our client, us and the bank.
Yeah.
And that transparency enables us to move things faster. But if I come and fulfill your need, you will refer somebody else. So most of the clients that we actually attract today are more of referrals because we've built that rapport and trust. And the other thing is the technology we've built behind it enables us to tell you where exactly your documents are and at what level and what stage they're at. And that itself, that transparency, me as a client, when I come and I ask for my documents, I understand at what level that this document is. That itself builds that trust, that transparency.
Yeah, and most clients, let's say, they are long-term clients as well.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And speaking of banking as well, as we see that AI in the future has been taking all over the world. So where do you see that digital transformation is going to take place into the banking and industry?
So from a CBB perspective, we see the AI and the technology as an enabler. We put in the right processes, we get the right people, that enabler will work. And I'll give you an example. Let's say a credit card takes 3 days. With AI and technology, it'll take maybe half an hour. So it'll speed up the process. But if I put the wrong information in the system, I'll still get a wrong result and it'll stop. So what we are focusing on as CBB is getting the right talent, training the right talent with the understanding of AI and technology so that they work together and give you that fulfillment of hours rather than days. These are the elements we're working with, and at the same time we understand the processes of the bank so that we close the gap between the client and the bank. So the bank connections that we have through APIs will enable the banks to speed up their processes also.
And what would you say there were the main challenges and the obstacles CBB has faced?
We still have challenges.
In terms of what?
So training, development, hiring the right people, fulfilling the client's needs, and also the changes that happen within the bank. The recent situation that happened, most of the banks have changed their policies. So us as CBB, how fast can we adapt to the changes that happen from a process within and the training for our advisors to enable our customers to still inquire and ask and purchase their services from the bank.
Yes. And before we end this conversation for today, what is the proudest moment or the proudest, let's say, a moment that you are always proud of, or something that you have achieved you're still proud of until now?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very positive, number one. Number two, the people I trained over the years, and today what I say to myself, I've learned in this country, I've been developed in this country, and now I'm giving back to this country. So development is a core element for me to give back to this country.
Yes, alhamdulillah. And Mr. Suhail, what do you think there's an advice you would wish business owners in the UAE they would have heard from you because of your positions at CBB? Like a piece of advice for business owners.
One thing is, it's hard to succeed, but you have to be very focused, very passionate, and very committed.
Yeah.
It takes time. and that time is your own time. You don't have a 9 to 6
It's 24/7.
It's 24/7. There's no weekends, no day off. Work is work, because this is your life. If you're committed for this, you will succeed, and you take the challenges as they come, because every day there's a new challenge. You look at the situation today, you're in a challenge. How do you maneuver and come out of this challenge? And all of us are through it.
Yes, alhamdulillah. And Mr. Suhail, one last thing. What's the future plans for CBB?
The future plans, we do have several banks. We are trying to fulfill all the banks and develop with the banks. So for us, the next 4 or 5 years is looking at how do we enhance technology, how do we enhance the human capital that we have in CBB, and how do we fulfill all the needs for the customers, because the customer journey is very dynamic and it changes, I would say, every month, especially with technology and AI. The demands from a customer is different. So we need to be very agile and work with the market that is changing rapidly.
Yes, with many more success, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And Mr. Suhail, before we end our episode, if you could deliver a message to the young generation who would like to proceed into the banking industry and the financial industry.
One thing that you need to focus on is banking is a school. It teaches you everything. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you communication skills, hard work, performance management, transparency, because it's all about numbers. If you are ready to learn, join a bank, and after 4 or 5 years, you'll see the development and the growth that you've gone through. And good luck.
Thank you so much. And Mr. Suhail, if you could deliver a thank you message to the UAE leadership.
I'd like to thank the government, first of all, the President of the UAE, صاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن زايد, and أخوانه وصاحب السمو الشيخ محمد بن راشد على الدعم اللامحدود اللي قايمين به للشباب اليوم ولتطوير الشباب. والحمد لله اليوم نحن النبتة اللي خلقوها أجدادنا من شيوخنا ومن شوابنا. والله يطول عمرهم والله يوفق الشباب وشكرا جزيلا.
Mr. Suhail, thank you so much for joining us today at Peers of Union. And ladies and gentlemen, we did not finish our episode for today. Stay tuned, we have Mr. Chamak as well in the next episode. Hello again and welcome back. Today we are talking about a guest that has spent 25 years of doing something that most people find deeply complex. Connecting the right capital to the right people at exactly the right amount. In a financial hub as dynamic as the UAE, the skills is worth everything. So let's welcome with me Mr. Chamak Banerjee, the Managing Director of Banking International at Century Bank Brokers, a veteran banker steering the company's strategic development and high net worth client portfolios. Mr. Chamak, welcome to Peers of Union.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much for joining Peers of Union today.
It's a pleasure for me.
Thank you. Mr. Chamak, if you could please start the episode by introducing yourself, tell me more about your personal and your professional backgrounds, and even the key milestones as well in your journey.
I'll start from the day I landed in UAE. I came here on 1st of October 1995. I've been in the banking industry for the last 30 years. I have worked for several banks here. I started my career with Standard Chartered Bank, then moved to Emirates NBD. Then I was also part of Mashreq Bank, and subsequently I worked for FAB and Masraf. I've always been part of the retail and the SME setup for wherever I've worked. I have a family here, my wife and we live with one daughter and one son. My daughter is also a banker.
So I would say it's a passion in that family for everyone to be a banker.
Sometimes it happens.
It happens by coincidence.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at your parents and you try to become one of them. Probably my daughter must have seen something in the banking industry. I'm a big fan of banking, so hence maybe she's following my footsteps.
Yes. And what is your educational background as well?
So I'm a commerce graduate. And I've also done advanced systems management. And after that, obviously, all the banking courses that is required to work in a bank, all those kind of courses have been done.
Yes. So before you became a managing director at CBB, what you were working in?
So my last assignment with the bank was in Al Masraf. I was the unit head for their SME unit, and prior to that I was managing the SME businesses for Emirates NBD, Mashreq and Fab.
And throughout this journey, what would you say that the moment in your career that tested you the most, and what has it taught you?
See, banking is a very challenging job, you know. There are a lot of things that you need to take care of, especially the interest of the customer, the interest of the bank, because you have to work as per the bank's vision. So it's very important that you align yourself with the bank's vision and then you go and do the business in the market. So it's very, very important that whatever you want to do for the organization and as well as for the customers should be in a win-win situation for both the parties.
And Mr. Chamak, how would you say that the people who have supported you and who has even helped you at the most of your journey?
So, you know, for me, everybody who has been part of my journey has been supporting me in some way. Whether they are my subordinates, whether they are my peer group, whether they are my seniors. You know, every day you learn something from someone. So I would say that everybody who has been part of my journey has always contributed towards my success. An individual cannot be successful on his own. You need support from all the angles. You keep learning and you implement those learnings on your day-to-day life. So I would not like to give credit to any particular individual, but yes, everybody who has been involved in my journey, I'm really thankful to all of them.
Yes. And Mr. Chamak, what would you say that they were the most powerful skills that you have adapted in your journey and they led you to where you are today?
See, for me, the most important thing is you have to be extremely passionate. I've been a very passionate individual from the day I started my career. I never thought that I will fail, because if you have the fear of failure, you will never succeed. There will be a lot of obstacles, there will be a lot of hindrances in the journey, but you need to find out a way how you can overcome them, because that's very, very critical. There has been instances, there has been hurdles in my life, but by God's grace, I've been, I would say, I have overcome them. And that's probably one of the reasons why what I am today is all because of that. Yeah. So I have a huge self-belief. I don't believe in the word no or impossible. Everything is possible if you really work hard towards it. And if you have the vision, you will definitely succeed.
And what would you say they were the obstacles and the challenges in your journey?
So there can be a lot of obstacles. There can be policy obstacles. There can be processes obstacles. There can be obstacles which are created by people. But you need to find a way out how to handle them. You can never have a smooth ride. The road is never straight. It will have bends, you know. So, but you need to have that skill set how to overcome those kind of obstacles. But I completely agree with you that there will be obstacles even today, maybe tomorrow, but there has to be a way how you handle them.
If you could tell me more about CBB, the day you have became a managing director, why have you decided to even join CBB as well in the first place? I
joined Century Bank Brokers in the year 2020, in the month of April. We were primarily focusing on the commercial banking business when I joined the company. It's in 2021 when my chairman said that what more can we do? Where can we invest? So we had a good round of meeting and we had a brainstorming session on it. And then one of the areas where we thought that Century can contribute immensely was on the retail banking platform. Hence, Century Bank Brokers was created in 2021, and we got our first contract from Emirates Islamic. And the business that we are into is purely, in banking terms, we call it the DSA business, but we work as alternate channel partners for all the banks here. We started the journey in 2021 with one bank. Today, by God's grace, we have 11 top-tier banks with whom we are partnering. Apart from that, we also have 2 FIs with whom currently Century Bank Brokers is empaneled. So overall, we have about 13 entities with whom we are currently partnered.
And from your perspective, what do you think that makes CBB exceptional in the market?
CBB has got a brand name because we are part of the Century family. You know, Century is a 37-year-old company here. You know, so the reputation of Century, because Century as a group, like I said, it's a group of more than 30-35 companies. and there are a lot of people employed here. The brand is known to everyone. So that is one advantage we always had, that whenever we approached a customer, whenever we approached a financial institution, I knew that we were carrying the brand image of Century. So that has actually helped me a lot.
Yes. So speaking of the commercial bank as well, is the core of what you do. So like, you know, like each business and each person has a different, like a client, different sizes, different perspective and path. So how do you always make sure that the decision you make for like a decision for either like a personal level or like a business owners, it's like that fit them and you are not just selling a product?
See, if you look at the commercial banking industry, most of these customers, they are entities, they are companies, right? Every business is unique. You will find a customer who's dealing in the same product, but their business models are different. Their outlook is different. Their goals are different. So we don't provide a solution which is like, one size fits all. That's not the approach that we take. Our approach has been completely different. We believe in sitting with the customer, trying to understand and analyze what exactly he needs, what is his vision, and can CVB help him in his growth journey. That's the most important piece when you meet a commercial customer. The products is available in the market, right? But to give the right solution which will help the business grow is the most critical part. So the advisory side is the most important piece in commercial banking. So we try our level best, we sit with the customer, we try and understand his requirements, we understand his goals, what is he aiming at, and then we give a product proposition. Now in commercial banking, you can give him a working capital product, you can give him trade finance, you can give him an overdraft, you can give him, finance against his assets. But the most important part is to understand that what exactly will help his business to grow or to achieve his vision. Yes. That's where the advisory part is very important, and that's where we completely focus on.
Yes. So from your perspective and your position, you always work with high net worth and ultra high net worth individual. So what's this like a very specific kind of relationship that you have with them, and there's like a one thing that you been learned from them?
See, you'll have to understand when you talk about ultra high net worth individuals, they are not looking at a product. They are looking at a solution. They are looking at a relationship. Any ultra high net worth customer does not need an assistance to approach a company like us. You have to find out, like I said, like in commercial banking, the concept is same. You have to sit with them. You have to understand what is his vision, what are his requirements, whether its requirements are related to financing, whether it is related to his succession planning, whether the requirement is related to any of his investment product. So you'll have to sit with ultra high net worth customers, look at his current portfolio, look at the changes that you probably can advise him so that he gets a better yield, better return, and then you give him solutions. So it's not the product that the customer is looking at, it's the relationship, it's the advisory side.
And when you speak about the relationship, what do you think that they require from this relationship? Especially I would say they have the attention of everyone, and like every bank brokers, they would need to have a relationship with them.
My personal view is, when you approach an ultra high net worth customer or even a commercial banking customer, most of the customers, they want to see how trustworthy is the organization, how trustworthy is the individual, and how honest is the feedback that they give about their current requirements. That's the most important part. If you work with honesty with any customer, whether he's ultra high net worth or whether he's a normal customer, you will always win the battle.
And from your perspective, what do you think there's a biggest misconception corporate clients they have?
I won't say a misconception. It is not a misconception, but sometimes because of poor financial management, which exists in almost all the markets, people may miscalculate their eligibility or their net worth. So sometimes they go wrong because maybe their outlook towards their own entity can go wrong because of poor financial management.
Yes. And Mr. Chamak, as we know, the speed is the most important thing when it comes to the financial brokerage. So if you are slowing down, the deal is lost. So how do you always adapt, like I would say the help of technology, for example, and how do you always process this?
So technology is now slowly taking over, right? And with technology comes speed. So you have to be at par with the requirement of the customer. You cannot be behind, in terms of speed, what the customer is expecting. So you rightly said technology plays a very important role, and CBB is investing heavily into this particular area. Yeah. So if you look at my sourcing pattern, most of our journeys that we are currently partnering with the banks are in form of digital journeys. So right from sourcing the application, right up to the underwriting, informing the customer at what stage his applications are, they're all completely digitized. So digitization plays an important role, and we are completely geared up, and we are completely aligned with the bank's vision. And most of the banks with whom we are currently partnering, they are digital. Yeah. So that's an added advantage for us, and we are investing heavily into that. Apart from we have our own digital market platform. We have invested heavily in CRM. We are in the process of investing more in technology, especially towards artificial intelligence. So these are the developments that Century is focusing currently.
Yes. And Mr. Chamak, there is like a financial piece of advice that you always would love to tell every business owners and every people that are interested in the banking industry and the financial industry?
In financial industry, if you're talking about people in my team, people those who work with me, you have to be extremely passionate. If you are not passionate, you will never succeed. There are 3-4 important things that is important, because financial industry involves money. The most important thing is that you must have high ethical standards. If you are not ethical in this business, it's very difficult. You will never win the trust. Second comes the knowledge. You have to have enough knowledge on the financial products. You must know what you are trying to pitch into a customer. You cannot give a wrong advice, because that may work against you. You have to keep yourself always updated. Because the market is evolving, the market is changing every day. The policies are changing, the products are changing. So you need to keep yourself completely well informed about every development that is happening in the market. And most important, that you need to know how the market operates. What are the requirements of the customer. Just don't go and sell a product, because if you just go and sell a product, you finish your relationship there. You need to build a trust. You need to convince him to be with you for the rest of your journey. So I think these are the key aspects, key factors which can make any individual serve the financial industry for a very long time.
And Mr. Chamak, what's the future plans for CBB?
Well, we are completely on a growth path. We currently employ close to about 500 people. The board of CBB has decided to scale it up to about 1,000 by 2027 June. So we are expanding in all the verticals that we are currently managing. So like I said, that we are currently representing 11 top tier banks. So we are growing the teams in every vertical. We want to be one of the preferred banking partners. We want to be the preferred brokerage company in this market. Our aim is to ensure that we are among the top 3 companies when it comes to the financial brokerage business, whether it's on the retail side or whether it's on the commercial side. Yes. So that's the vision that CBB carries, and I am 100% sure that the day is not far away when CBB will become the number 1 brokerage company in UAE.
Inshallah, do many more success, inshallah.
Thank you.
And Mr. Chamak, if you could deliver a message to the young generation for whoever wants to proceed into the banking industry and the finance industry, what's a piece of advice you would love to tell them?
Very simple, very simple. Just stay focused, be extremely passionate, this country gives you a lot. I have not seen much of failure in this country. You know, I came with a very small vision, but today this is my 31st year. This country gives you a lot. Just stay focused and be passionate for whatever you do. That's the advice I would like to give.
And Mr. Chamak, you have chosen the UAE to be your home since 1995. If you could deliver a thank you message to the UAE leadership.
I'm deeply honored and I'm really thankful to the leadership of UAE. I have seen a complete transformation of this country, and that's all because of the able leadership of this particular country. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Mr. Chamak, thank you so much for joining us today at Peers of Union.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure. And to everyone watching us, as we came to the end of today's episode, we hope this conversation has left you with a valuable insights, fresh perspectives, and perhaps a new peers of inspiration. Thank you for joining us today on Peers of Union. I'm Hiba Abu Hamida, and I look forward to meeting you back for another inspiring conversation. Until then, take care and goodbye.
العطايا